Sean McMahon waiting to get the teams, the players in position. The whistle to throw in on the semi-final underway. Eddie Tucker up to the far side of the field, coming out to get it is Pat Carey, the full-back for Patrickswell. Up towards this side of the field, towards the corner forward, towards the direction of Nigel Carey. Actually, Alan Person, who has moved out from the corner forward position. The first three of the game falls to Patrickswell, fouled by Paul Kennedy. Gary Kirby with the opening three of the game. In the 37 seconds gone, sends it in, and he has sent it to the right and wide, and certainly not the opening that Patrickswell would like. It's Gary Kirby. Puck out towards this side of the field, towards the direction of Kieran Carey. They're picking up on this side of the field. Robbie Tomlinson very close to the sideline, gone over the line, a line ball to Nenagh Eire. Here are from Clare. Anthony Carmody with the sideline cut, sends it low in towards the goals. Not inside, a shot and sent over the bar by Alan Purcell. I am sure Alan should have put that one under the bar, not over the bar, but the right corner forward, even though wearing number 14, has put that one between the posts for the opening score for Patrickswell. First half, 5 minutes old. The ball out towards the centre, pulled there by Declan O'Grady. Along the ground, the sod looking immaculate here in Semple Stadium. The ball to Nigel Carey on this side of the field to Barry Foley. A shot by Barry and it's gone over the bar. The sides are level. Barry Foley, the scorer. A good work by Alan Purcell and that man tying up the sides. The puck out from Christy McLaughlin towards the direction of Con Howard on the far side of the field. Beaten down on the far side of the field by Nigel Carey. Coming out around the middle of the field, Gary Kirby for Patrickswell tries to get away from Con Howard and John Kennedy. And the referee has blown and awarded the free to Patrickswell. The high pull on Gary Kirby. Gary on the 45-metre line. Certainly a scoreable position from Gary. Sends it in and he has sent it over the bar. Gary Kirby the scorer. 3 points from Patrickswell, and that last one coming from Gary Kirby. Temple shock nomot na mar sin Emma on Kedla and Puckabakarish. Towards the direction of Kieran Carey. John Heffernan trying to get a stick to it. Out to the far side of the field, Kieran in possession for Patrickswell. Coming up the field with a lot of options outside him. Declan O'Grady on this side of the field in possession, working his way away from Chris Boner. Sends this one in and he has sent it out over the end line and wide. Both umpires took a long time to make up their minds, but eventually to the left and wide, and the scoreboard reads Patrickswell 3 points, Nenagh Eire 2 points. Christy McLaughlin's puck out with the aid of the breeze. Whatever breeze it is, the ball on the far side of the field with Pa Foley. Battling hard for it over there as well is Dara Quinn. Very close to the far sideline. Foley trying to get a stick to it. Succeeds in getting it out over the sideline. Sean O'Canada, Conan Puck Tavelina Hogan. Temple, Quagamazar Wako, Cole Tupper Padraig sends it in towards the goal mouth. Inside is Joe Murphy, the Patrickswell goalkeeper, gets it out towards this side of the field, towards Gary Kirby and Frank Moore in the clash of the ash. Ball on this side of the field with Barry Foley. Barry coming up the field with it. Still Barry getting away from his marker. Still Barry trying to work his way up the field, sends it in, and he has sent it to the right and wide. And certainly a good run by Barry Foley, but the ball to the right and wide. Christy McLaughlin getting plenty of length into the puck out on the far side of the field. Conhard in possession for Nenagh Eire Og, sends it in. It hops and goes out over the end line and wide. The wides read, 1 for Nenagh, 3 for Patrickswell. Joe Murphy's back out towards this side of the field. Declan O'Grady gets a stick to it, out to Barry Foley, keeps it along the ground. Dennis Finnerty going back there to challenge Frank Moran also there. Flicks it inside, Gary Kirby shoves it inside a little bit. But then there is the cornerback Paul Kennedy on this side of the field. Tries to get a hand pass to it, the ball comes off the stick, or off the hand of Alan Purcell. So it's a line ball to Nenagh Eire Og. Dennis Finnerty with the resultant sideline, sends it into the hands of Chris Bonner, takes the challenge, sends the ball up to the far side of feed. Over there is Pa Foley. Kevin Tucker staying with him, and Foley is fouled, so it's a free from the about 70 metres out from the Patrickswell goals, to be taken by, I suppose, Gary Kirby. Yes, Gary coming across to take it. He's on his own 70-metre line as Gary Kirby sends it up towards the opposite 20-metre line. They're picking it up as Dennis Finnerty on this side of feed, half clears it along this side of feed over the line. The linesman on this side of field is Tony O'Sullivan O'Cunte and Cloyer. On Raytor Sean O'Mahone O'Cunte and Cloyer. On Barrylord Park, Anthony Carmody with the sideline cut, cuts it in towards the centre, picked up nicely by Edward Geary. Geary inside too. Nigel Carey, his shot is blocked down by a combination of players, and John Kennedy completes the clearance. Out towards this side of field, a race for possession. One on this side of field with Declan O'Grady and Chris Boner. Boner in possession, walks away from one challenge. The Garda Sheapona getting the ball up towards the centre. Pa Foley puts up a handful, didn't get it. Kevin Tucker on the far side of field in possession. The buzz around Simple Stadium as Tucker in possession. Tries to work his way infield, sends it up towards the side of the field towards John Heffernan and Pa Foley, or Paul Foley. Paul Foley tries to get away from Heffernan, succeeds, gets the ball up along this side of the field. Coming across to get it is the number 9, that's Declan O'Grady. O'Grady across to the far side of the field towards the direction of Gary Kirby. Paul Kennedy coming across there as well. Clearing it out is the cornerback Noel Coffey on the far side of the field. John Kennedy in possession for Nenagh Eire Og, gets the ball up towards the centre. Pa Foley brings it down nicely and clears it out a little bit, only out to the stick of Eddie Tucker across to this side of the field to Paul Foley. Paul Foley and John Heffernan battling for it. Foley in possession, turns inside, sends the ball very close to the sideline. Robbie Tomlinson in possession for Nenagh Eire Og. Dispossessed on this side of the field by Sean Carey, sends the ball over the sideline. Gone home at there, Gemma and Clehes shot. Restore Bonner, or Boner with the sideline cut, cuts it in towards the centre. Carey gets a stick to it inside by Joe Murphy. Good defending, and the clearance out to this side of the field and over the line. Certainly ice cool Joe Murphy back on his goal line, getting that ball out. Chris Boner with the resultant sideline cut inside the 14-metre line, cuts it right across the edge of the square towards the direction of Conhard. Over there is Garrett Quinn. Kirby pushed in the back. Kirby pulling going on inside the referee, leaving play go on. The ball inside with Paul Foley for Patrickswell, and they play a bit of football in the well. Out to the far side of the field to Eddie Tucker for Nenagh Eire. Gets away from Anthony Cameron on the far side of the field. Sends it right across the centre. There is Kieran Carey. Ducks the challenge of Con Howard and gets the ball and sends it up towards the centre, up towards the far side of the field. A bit of whooshing off the ball. Seamus Kirby going back to get it. Back there also is the number 7, Dennis Finnerty for Nenagh, and he wins the free. Free taken on the far side of the field by Conor O'Donovan, send in around the 20-metre line. The ball bounces kindly for Patrickswell through their cornerback David Punch. Out towards this side of the field, coming very, very close to the sideline. Still in play on this side of the field, kept by Chris Bonner. In towards the centre, towards Kevin Tucker, flicks it away from one marker, two markers, and succeeds in getting the ball in the hand. A loose man outside him is John Kennedy. Good vision by Tucker, and that ball sent in by John Kennedy and sent, I think, over the bar. Yes, it is John Kennedy, the scorer. But the vision of Kevin Tucker to find John Kennedy, the wing back, and that man appreciates the pass. We're almost halfway through the first half. Of the ball in the hands of Declan O'Grady across to the far side of the field to Kieran. Captain Tubber Baldrick, that's Kieran Carey sending it in. Christy McLaughlin waiting for it inside. The ball is never going to come down. It's eventually cleared up by the cornerback Noel Coffey. In possession is Alan Purcell, sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Alan Purcell, the scorer, his second point. The right corner forward, second point of the scoreboard reads Patrickswell 4, Nenagh Eire 3. Christy McLaughlin's back out towards the centre, pulled there by Con Howard. Pat Foley gets a stick to it up along the centre of the feed. Chris Boner coming for it, 2 Eire Ogman there. Chris in possession, tries to get away from Anthony Carmody. A pass outside to Con Howard, flicked off his stick by Kieran Carey. Racing to get it was John Kennedy, leaving it instead, and Kieran Carey picks up the pieces across to this side of the feed towards Dennis Finnerty and Alan Purcell. Finnerty, or it's actually Paul Kennedy. Paul, the cornerback, the right tie, heavily bandaged. Paul coming up the field with it. Half hits that one up towards the direction of Kevin Tucker. Send in towards his brother Eddie in the centre. Michael Cleary coming into the game. Michael Cleary with the resultant send it in, and he has sent it out over the end line and wide. That's the second wide for Nenagh Eire, 3 for Patrickswell, and that's Michael Cleary going back into position. Joe Murphy's back out towards the centre of the field. Michael Cleary and Sean Carey battling for it, sent up towards the far side of the field. Dara Quinn in possession. Dara has the shot from a way out, but he has sent it to the right and wide, and the wides are now level. Not the scoreboard. Patrickswell lead by 1 point. 4 points to 3. Joe Murphy's back out towards the centre of the field. Michael Cleary trying to get a stick to it. Frank Moran keeps it along the ground to Robbie Tomlinson. Has a loose man outside him, decides to try the shot himself, sends it in, and he has sent it over the end line and wide. The 4th wide for Nenagh Eire. 16 and a half minutes gone in the first half. From Joe Murphy's back out towards the side of the field, Declan O'Grady. Barry Foley, Barry in possession, and pass it into Gary Kirby. John Kennedy read the situation, not too well. Calls for Gary Kirby, then sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Gary Kirby, the scorer. The second point from Gary Kirby, 1 from a free and 1 from play. The puck out by Christy McLaughlin towards this side of the field. The referee penalises Paul Foley for a push on Robbie Tomlinson, and certainly referee Sean McMahon very up with the action. An opportunity for Michael Cleary to put just a point between the teams as Michael sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Michael Cleary the scorer. The opening score from the midfielder Michael Cleary. Joe Murphy's back out towards this side of field. Chris Boner and Declan O'Grady. Barry Foley gets it in towards the corner. Conor O'Donovan coming out to get it. Gets it in a bit back to his cornerback, Paul Kennedy. Paul tries to get away from the markings of Edward Geary. In there is Nigel Carey. Out towards the side of field to Barry Foley. Back it goes to Paul Kennedy. Hardy pulling on the far side of field. Seamus Kirby gets it across the centre. Across on the far side of field is Nigel Carey. Gets a boot to it. Staying with him there is Frank Moran. Back picking up the pieces is Noel Coffey out to the far side of the field. Hardy pulling by Kevin Tucker, gets it up the field to his brother Eddie. Low shot up towards the corner towards Darragh Quinn. Out comes the full-back Pat Carey. Gets it out a little bit. Out towards the cornerback David Punch on the far side of the field. The new stand side here in Semple Stadium over the sideline. Anxious faces in the new stand. John Kennedy with the resultant sideline in towards this side of field. Robbie Tomlinson coming out for it. Has difficulty getting it up. Keeps it along the ground across the centre to Kevin Tucker. Kevin decides to work his way in towards the goals. Advantage by the referee. A shot by Kevin and it's gone over the bar. The second point from Kevin Tucker. Good advantage by referee Sean McMahon. And Kevin has sent it over the bar. Culbara, Tubber Podrick, Joseph O'Maraco and Puckabaki Lord Porka. Barry DeFoley gets it in the hand, sends it up towards the corner forward position. Racing ahead inside was Edward Geary. Staying with him is Conor O'Donovan. And the man who was born in County Limerick, getting the ball in the hand, playing for Nenagh Eire Og. Out to the wing-back position to Dennis Finnerty. The Irish international athlete gets it up towards the centre forward position. Battling for it over there is Kevin Tucker on the far side of the field. And there is the ever-reliable Pa Foley. Pa coming out the field with the ball. Getting it out a little bit to Sean Carey. Sean does a juggling act with the ball, but gets it up along this side of the field. Up towards the wing forward, Barry Foley. The youngest player on the field is Barry Foley. He's pushed in the back by Dennis Finnerty, so it's a free to Gary Kirby. With the sides level at 5 points each, Gary Kirby with the resultant free. 21 minutes gone in the first half, sending it high and sending it over the bar. Gary Kirby the scorer. 3 points from that man, Gary Kirby, 2 from frees and 1 from play. Christy McLaughlin's puck out towards the side of the field. High fielding there by Declan O'Grady. Gets it up towards this corner of the field. Out comes Paul Kennedy, the cornerback, and does what Declan O'Grady tried to do equally as well. Sends the ball down towards the full forward position. Batted down inside by Darragh Quinn. A very young player as well as Darragh Quinn being hooshed off the ball inside and picked up by the defender there. That's Anthony Cameron, actually the midfielder, out towards the centre towards Declan O'Grady. Chris Boner coming for it, getting it. Loose man outside him is Frank Moran, still holds possession. Gets it in over his shoulder, good vision across to the far side of the feet to Con Howard. Takes his eye off the ball. Over there is Eddie Tucker. A bit of stalemate for a moment. A loose man waiting for it was John Kennedy. The ball on the ground. Eddie Tucker tried to get a stick to it. Also there is Declan O'Grady for Patrickswell. John Kennedy gets it to this side of the field to Robbie Tomlinson, turns inside, looks up, sends it in, but that one is gone very much to the right and wide, and after all the good work, Robbie finding the target hard to come by. No, at 14, will he? Yep, that's right. Robbie Tomlinson, the man who's just sent that one very much to the right and wide. .22.5 minutes gone in the first half. A battle here on this side of the field with Declan O'Grady, Chris Boner, And the ball eventually getting a stick to it is Dennis Finnerty. Barry Foley pushes it a little bit forward. In there is Alan Purcell, gets it up towards the corner. Seamus Kirby racing for possession. Picks up the ball on this side of the field, has the shot, and he has scored the point. Seamus Kirby, the scorer. And if my memory serves me correctly, that man Seamus Kirby has been finding the target for Patrickswell from the early stages of the championship in Limerick. He's now gone to a left corner forward position. A substitution on the Nenagh Eire Og side. Number 16, Ronan Burns, replaces number 7, Dennis Finnerty. That's Padjo Whelan waiting for the note of approval, so to speak, as Ronan Burns comes on the team. Michael Cleary gone back to a left half back position. Ronan Burns at left half forward. Aharua one at Fernena Caroon. The ball on the far side of field to Eire Og men coming for it. Kevin Tucker coming for it there. Also there is Sean Carey, and the referee has penalised the Eire Og man for the pull, so it's a free to Tubber Padraig. The Eire Og half-back line reads John Kennedy, Frank Moran, Michael Cleary. Their half-forward line reads the Tucker brothers, Kevin and Eddie, and Ronan Burns. Pat Foley with the resultant free, sends it up towards this side of the field, towards Barry Foley, who's been the danger man so far. The ball out to the corner towards Edward Geary. Michael Cleary back there, picking up the pieces and coming out of defence. The ball to Chris Boner, has difficulty in getting his shot in, sends it in towards the centre. Anthony Camry and Con Howard battling for it. Kevin Tucker did that one nicely across the centre, gets it to a colleague. That's Ronan Burns, took his eye off the ball, and Kieran Carey comes away with it. Out towards the side of the field, a high overhead pull there by Kevin Tucker. In towards the centre, Dara Quinn flicks it outside, and running into the hands of number 2. That's Paul Foley of Patrickswell across to the far side of the field. Well done on the far side of the field by John Kennedy. Turns in field, gives it a height, the distance, maybe not the accuracy. It's gone in and gone out over the end line and wide. The 5th wide for Nenagh Eire Og. Patrickswell have 3, and we have played 25 and a half minutes of the first half. Joe Murphy's back out towards this side of field. Chris Boner trying to get a stick to it. Declan O'Brady gets it to Barry Foley, and away goes Barry Foley on this side of field, being pursued by Michael Cleary. Still Barry Foley trying to work his way goalward, sends that low shot in towards the corner. In there is Nigel Carey, also there is Edward Geary. Carey gets it outside him to a loose man. That loose man is Edward Geary. Has difficulty getting the shot, and there is Michael Cleary. Gets away from one challenge, passes it back to his full-back and captain Conor O'Donovan. And Conor has difficulty, but gets the boot to it. They play football in Nenagh as well. The ball up towards the centre of the field, out to Chris Boner. Chris Boner's delivery up through the far side of the field. Dara Quinn as the crowd gets behind both teams. Out to this side of the field, it comes to Sean O'Carey. Sean Carey's shot is knocked down by Kevin Tucker on the far side of the field. Back there is Pa Foley, flicked outside him. Foley gets it out a little bit out towards the far side of the field. Out there is Con Howard. John Kennedy in the action. Also there was the centre back Frank Moran on the far side of the field. Pa Foley for Patrickswell. Pa coming up the field with it. Bill up the ball up towards Nigel Carey. Carey up to the corner to Seamus Kirby. Seamus has shot, and this one has gone out over the end line and wide. It's a Munster Club hurling semi-final. The winners play either Ballygunner of Waterford or 6 Mile Bridge of Clare in the final in about 2 weeks' time. Chris Dorr, McLaughlin's puck out. Picked up there in the centre-back position by the Patrickswell centre-half back Kieran Carey, who is the captain. He's fouled, so it's a free on his own 70-metre line. Instructions being issued there by manager Phil Bennis. A It's Anthony Carmody, as Phil Bennett's just in shot there, giving the instructions. Anthony with the resultant free. Sends it deep into the 14-metre line. Seamus Kirby is first to react, has difficulty in lifting it. John Kennedy is staying with him, gets it a little bit out on the far side of the field to Nigel Carey. Comes out to make an angle for himself, sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Nigel Carey, the scorer. With that score from Nigel Carey, the only forward that haven't scored is Edward Geary. The other 5 have scored for Patrickswell. Christy McLaughlin's back out. The scoreboard reads Tubber Podrick, Uck Colleen, Nenagh Eire Og, Coy Colleen and Shahi Park Semple, Dorla Salia and Cleha. Out towards this side of the field. Eddie Tucker, shot blocked down. Anthony Carmody, a ruck of players, and eventually away comes Con Howard with the ball. Look to be held, gets it back to Tucker, out to the far side of the field. John Kennedy tries to keep the ball in play. It's gone over the sideline. Sideline cut on the far side of the field, set up along the far side by Anthony Carmody, kept up there by Gary Kirby. Seamus Kirby waiting for the overlap. The ball comes off the defender. It's a line ball to Patrickswell. Linesman on the far side of the field indicating to the referee that we're almost at half time. We have 29 and a half minutes gone in the first half as Gary Kirby sends that ball in towards the centre. Frank Moran coming out to get her. Staying with him there is Alan Purcell on the far side of the field. Michael Cleary back picking up the pieces. Gets the ball eventually out, or tries to work his way out. The ball eventually falls for John Kennedy. A little bit of scrappy play out there. And out coming with it there is the cornerback Paul Kennedy. Out towards the centre, Chris Boner. And the referee has called the half-time whistle. It's half-time here as Patrickswell lead by 3 points, 8 points to 5. Number 10 for Nenagh. Certainly that man, Chris Bonner, has been performing excellently for the Eire Og men. Likewise, the numbers, that man there, yeah, that man, Chris Bonner, exceptionally performance for Nenagh. And to get the well fella coming in.
The full programme is as follows. At 1 p.m. President of Tipperary County Board, Seamus O'Ryan, was also a former Uachtaran of Cumaglufa Scoil. At 2:30 we have a parade led by the Sean Tracy Pipe Band, and at 2:45 will be between Tipperary, who are the All-Ireland Senior Football B champions, and Dublin, of course, who are the...
Like it, how you
changes. Welcome back to the second half of the Munster Club hurling semi-final. Nenagh Eire Og versus Patrickswell. Referee Sean McMahon about to commence the second half. Patrickswell leading by 3 points, 8 points to 5. The second half is underway. On this side of the field, Gary Kirby trying to get a stick to it, succeeds, gets it up towards the side of the field. Ronan Burns trying to get a stick to it, cleared out towards the direction of Gary Kirby. Gary sends it in, and he has sent it out over the end line and wide. A very close call there, and the 15 seconds gone in the first half by Gary Kirby. Christy McLaughlin's puck out towards the far side of the field. Sean Carey trying to get a stick to it. Out comes Eddie Tucker, and the referee penalises the Patrickswell men for a foul, so it's a free in to Michael Cleary. Michael with the free, sending it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Michael Cleary the scorer. The second point from Michael Cleary. As I said, playing in a wing-back position. Michael Cleary the scorer of the last Nenagh point. The puck out towards the side of the field from Joe Murphy. In possession is Declan O'Grady, or is it Anthony Carmody? It's Anthony, so it's a free to Patrickswell. Gary, scorer of 3 points today, sends this one in, and he has sent it over the bar. Gary Kirby the scorer. Is this going to be a competition of free taking between Gary Kirby and Michael Cleary? Certainly Gary has put over 4, Michael has put over 2. Christy McLaughlin's puck out towards this side of the field. Pa Foley coming for it, leaving it there, picked up by Con Howard, sends it right across towards the centre. The ball breaks between players out on the far side of the field with Robbie Tomlinson, loses out possession to Sean Carey. Michael Cleary, loose man outside him is Robbie Tomlinson. Robbie sending it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Robbie Tomlinson the scorer. A good point by Robbie Tomlinson from out on the far side of the field, and Robbie certainly has found the target. Two and a half minutes gone in the second half, of time between the teams. The ball out towards this side of the field. Noel Coffey trying to get a stick to it. Back there is John Kennedy. Slips as he goes for that one. In there is Nigel Carey, back to the cornerback position, and Conor Donovan clears it out from a cornerback position. Out towards the far side of the field, Kieran Carey picked up his stick by Robbie Tomlinson. Up towards the centre. Robbie Tomlinson following up. Dara Quinn in there as well. Paul Foley, the cornerback, back there. Dara Quinn is in possession on the far side of the field, trying to make an angle for himself, sending it right across the goals. He has sent it out over the end line and wide, despite the efforts there of Eire Og man to keep the ball in play. Joe Murphy's puck out towards the far side of the field. Chris Boner not getting a stick to it, or Declan O'Grady gets it up towards the far corner. Out comes Paul Kennedy. His shot is half blocked down. Out towards Declan O'Grady on the far side of the field. Swings it in towards the centre. Conor Donovan standing firm inside. Gets the ball out to the far side of the field. Chris Boner coming for it and getting it on the far side of the field. Gets away from 2 challenges, 3 challenges. Gets it to Frank Moran. Sends it up towards the centre. Full back and full forward coming out for it. Bahad outside. Falls nicely for Kevin Tucker on the far side of the field. Kevin tries the shot, sends it in, and that's the equaliser. Kevin Tucker the scorer. The sides are level. 3 points from Kevin Tucker, and his side now are on level terms with Patrickswell. 8 points apiece here in Semple Stadium. Sorry, the ball out towards the centre of the field. Patrickswell are actually leading by a point. My apologies. Wrong reading of the scoreboard. The ball falls from Michael Cleary. Certainly the Eire Og guys are making a comeback and coming back rather fast. The ball out to the side of the field, and here comes Kevin Tucker. Has the ball in the hand, looks to find the target, sends it in, and now we're level. It's not, it's blocked by Joe O'Grady under the post. A good save by Joe O'Grady. Derek Quinn in possession. Robbie Tomlinson sends it in right across the square. It's come over the bar. Robbie Tomlinson the scorer. The sides are now level. 9 points apiece. A bit premature thinking on my behalf earlier on, but that ball levelling up the sides from Robbie Tomlinson. Gary Kirby back in the action, receiving running repairs, so to speak, as Joe Murphy, his goalkeeper, prepares to take the puck out. Out towards the far side of the field. Chris Bonner trying to get a stick to it. Declan O'Grady, but Barry Foley picks up the pieces. Sean McMahon slightly gets on the way. The ball in towards the centre, batted up by Conor O'Donovan. John Kennedy picks it out a little bit. Out it comes to this side of the field to Alan Purcell. He shot it blocked down and cleared off the field by the team captain, Conor O'Donovan. Out on the far side of the field. Racing over to get ahead is Sean Carey. Tries to keep the ball in play very close to the far side of the field. Nenagh Eire Og tried to come away with it through Derek Quinn. It's flicked off his stick by Sean Carey, so it's a line ball to Nenagh. Michael Cleary with the resultant sideline cut, cuts it in towards the centre. The shadows along the ground here in Semple Stadium. It's the 12th of November. The ball's out in towards the centre, towards Gary Kirby. Tries to get away from Chris Bonner, succeeds. Gary looks up, sends it in, and he has sent it to the left and wide. And that's the second wide for Patrickswell in the second half. 4 wides in the first half. They now have total of 6 wides in all. Christy McLaughlin's puck out towards the side of the field. High fielding on this side of the field by Ronan Burns. Ronan sends it in, and that one is going to the right and wide. And that's the first wide of the second half for Nenagh Eire Og, who had 5 wides in the first, so make it 6 all in all. Joe Murphy's puck out towards this side of the field. Batted down by John Kennedy. Falls for Barry Foley. Has difficulty here even in Semple Stadium, but not with Michael Cleary, who picks up the ball, sends it across to the far side of the field. Sean Carey battling for it, not getting it. Falls outside to the man with the red helmet, Robbie Tomlinson. Actually Kevin Tucker, Eddie Tucker in possession on the far side of the field. Eddie tried to work his way, a shot, and oh! Eddie Tucker the scorer. The buzz around Semple Stadium, the goal by Eddie Tucker. And certainly well worth watching that one again. Michael Cleary started it all from a centre-back position, and there to finish it was Eddie Tucker. Number 11. Joe Murphy's puck out to the far side of the field, out towards the centre. Declan O'Grady tried to get a stick to it. On the far side of the field, a ruck of players. The referee, I think, will throw that ball in. Can you get 11 now, Willie? Can you come back to the centre? Just back, right. No. All right, go ahead. The throw in on the far side of the field. Patrickswell in possession through Alan Purcell on the far side of the field. Does a juggling act with it, gets it back to Barry Foley. Has the shot, sends it in, and it's over the bar by Barry Foley. The second point from the man wearing number 10. That man, Barry Foley. 12 points to 10 in favour of Nenagh Eire Og. The shortest puck out from Christy McLaughlin to John Kennedy on this side of the field. Decides to send it low up towards the corner. Ronan Burns keeps it along the ground in towards the centre towards Dara Quinn. Falls nicely inside for the Patrickswell men, and they get it out through the centre half back Kieran Carey. Out towards the centre. Look to be a push in the back, but Anthony Carmody gets the ball across to this side of the field to Barry Foley. Barry in possession, has Gary Kirby loose. The ball is blocked down by John Kennedy. Racing back to get his Foley. Gets it in towards the centre. Conor O'Donovan coming out for it. Also in there is the cornerback Paul Kennedy. Paul gets it a little bit on this side of the field. Seamus Kirby coming for it. Not getting it. A ruck of players inside. Eventually comes out towards John Kennedy. Across towards the referee on the far side of the field. There is Nigel Carey. In possession is the other 13. That's Edward Geary. Shot blocked down. Good defending by Nenagh Eire Og. Out on the far side of the field between Alan Purcell and Conor O'Donovan. Purcell in possession. Turns inside. Sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Alan Purcell the scorer. Alan Purcell, the man who's just sent over that point for his third point of the game. Gone back to a full forward position. Ein Cole agus Nate Colleen, Ein Caroon, Ein Colleen there with the Tubber Padraig. And Stitter on the far side of the field in possession of Declan O'Grady, sending it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Declan O'Grady the scorer. The sides are level. That man, Declan O'Grady, tying up the sides. 1-9 for Nenagh Eire Og, 12 points for Patrickswell after 11.5 minutes of the second half. The puck out towards the side of the field. Comes to the hand of Gary Kirby. Gary staying with him is Con Howard. Kirby tried to work his way up the field. Still Gary tried to work his way. Con Howard stuck with him all the way. Gets the ball in the hand and boots the ball across to the far side of the field. The ball given away to Nigel Carey has sent it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Nigel Carey the scorer. No, gone on a bit forward, back a bit further, horse. Yeah. Nigel Carey, the scorer of the last Patrickswell point, a 13 point for Patrickswell, 12 points for Nenagh Eire Og. That's 1-9. 12 minutes gone in the second half. Con Howard brings that one down for Kevin Tucker. A loose man outside him is Chris Boner. Kevin tries to go it alone. Half loses possession. Back there on his knees is the centre half back Kieran Carey. Eddie Tucker gets it outside the field to his brother Kevin. Kevin tries to turn in field, sends it low across the centre towards Dara Quinn on the far side of field. Quinn being pushed off the ball. Chris Boner over there on the far side of field. Picked up on the far side of field by Nigel Carey, the scorer of the point a few moments ago. Back helping out the defence. Gets it out towards the centre to Kieran Carey, his brother. And the referee penalises Kieran for charging with the ball. So it's a free in to Nenagh Eire Og and Michael Cleary. And certainly Kieran Carey not happy with that decision. The referee Sean McMahon telling him he charged with the ball. Michael Cleary with the resultant free between the 50 and the 70 metre line here in Semple Stadium, sending it in, sending it high and sending it over the bar. Michael Cleary the scorer, the third point from Michael Cleary. 13 points, 110 for Nenagh Eire Og, 13 points for Patrickswell. 13 minutes gone, all the 13s here in Semple Stadium. As Joe Murphy's puck out comes towards this side of the field, Con Howard and Gary Kirby. On this side of the field is John Kennedy, keeps the ball in play. Good work by the linesman on this side of the field. Tony O'Sullivan leaves player 0-1. In there with Kieran Carey, flicks it back to his brother Pa, the full-back, and he completes the clearance for Tubber Padraig. Up towards the centre, Michael Cleary coming for it. Paul Kennedy over there as well, flicked outside. On this side of the field, John Kennedy. Also out there is Paul Kennedy, the cornerback, down on his knees on this side of the field is Anthony Carmody. There's no time to be thinking in there at the moment. The ball comes back to Con Howard. Certainly has been playing a performance above the ordinary for Con Howard. The ball coming very close to the sideline and gone over the line. It's a line ball to Patrickswell. The experienced Pa Foley. David Punch there, but the line ball will be taken by Gary Kirby. Gary with the sideline cut, cuts it along the line, out over the sideline, and I suppose there is word called human error, and that's just one of them on that occasion, as Philly Bennis instructs his team to move forward or to tighten up. Certainly a man who has seen many a battle for Patrickswell, Philly Bennis, and there's another man, Pat Joe Whelan, as Nenagh Eire Og contemplate a substitution. The sideline cut is taken by John Kennedy, right across into the centre, falling nicely for Eddie Tucker. He's shot his block down on this side of the field. Picking it up on this side of the field is Declan O'Grady. Sends it up towards the corner. A bit of whooshing off the ball. Inside is Alan Purcell. Tries to get it in there, but picking up the pieces is Noel Coffey. He's shot his block down. Conor Sullivan back there, defending Ferrum. The captain for Eire Og gets it out to his centre half back who completes the clearance. Up towards the far side of the field, the sun in the eyes of the players. Darragh Quinn gets a stick to it, succeeds in getting it to Tucker. That's Eddie Tucker sending it in, and he has sent it into the hands of goalkeeper Joe Murphy. Clears it out to the far side of the field, despite the efforts there of John Heffernan. Out on the far side of the field and getting it is Nigel Carey. Nigel is penalised on the far side of the field. The referee Sean McMahon, I suppose he could be described as having eyes in the back of his head. He just made a slight mistake. He pointed one way but meant the other. And the man from the Banner County has indicated the free is to Patrickswell and Gary Kirby. Gary with the resultant free. Christy McLaughlin waiting for it to come down, grabs it under his post and gets it out towards this side of the field. Ricochets up for the hand of Frank Moran. Frank Moran out to this side of the field, and away comes the ball. And John Kennedy of Nenagh Eire out towards this side of the field. Racing to get ahead is Ronan Burns and Pa Foley. The young versus the old. The young wins the battle. Sends it in towards the centre, towards Darragh Quinn. Joe Murphy watches it. It goes out over the end line at the expense of a 65. And I'm sure Joe Murphy must be feeling that ball could have been stopped by him. Yes, Joe shakes the head. I should have stopped it, says Joe to Pa Carey. A substitution. Joe O'Donoghue on the Nenagh side, just watching to see who is coming off the Nenagh Eire Og team. Certainly Joe O'Donoghue in the game, and the man coming off is Darragh Quinn. The 65 to Michael Cleary. Sending it in, and he has sent it into the hands of the goalkeeper, not quite yet. Blocked inside by Ronan Burns, a sea of players inside. Hardy pulling inside, the referee is racing in. The ball won there by the cornerback Paul Foley, out to the far side of the field. Kieran Carey for Patrickswell. On the far side of the field, Joe O'Donoghue just in the game. Tries to get that ball. Back there is the cornerback Sean Carey, out towards the centre, flicks off the hand. Michael Cleary flicks it back nicely for Eddie Tucker. On the far side of the field, Eddie tries to lift it, succeeds. Flicks it outside to a loose man, his brother Kevin. He shot his block down. Good defending by the Patrickswell men. And the referee penalises the Patrickswell men for a high pull, and it's a free in to Nenagh Eire Og. The man being penalised is David Punch. Remember, Kieran Carey there pleading his case, but Gary Kirby instructing his players to go back and keep going with the game. 13 points apiece, 110 to 13 points. Shock Nomad there, Nobar Shinema, San Dorla, Mihador Clare English and Stert Pucka Hogan. Trucka made the remark go cool. Tubber Padraig sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. The lead for Nenagh Eire Og through Michael Cleary. The 4th point from the man who started at wing forward, moved to midfield, and now is at wing back. Predictions during the week. This game is going to be hard to be called. Certainly is turning out that way as Anthony Carmody gets it to Barry Foley. Can the ball send out by Noel Coffey out towards the side of the field. Pa Foley and Ronan Burns. The referee leaves play go on into the hands of Eddie Tucker actually. Eddie in possession, sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Eddie Tucker the scorer. 1 goal and 2 points from the centre half forward Eddie Tucker, and Pat Joe Whelan is going to have a quick word with Ronan Burns. I'm sure he's going to say to Ronan, stay with your man all the way. 11 Eddie, centre forward. That's Eddie Tucker, the scorer of the last point for Nenagh Eire Og, the lead point. 14 points to 13, and Michael Cleary is in possession on the far side of the field. Actually it's Chris Boner. Michael Cleary is outside him. The referee penalises Chris for over-carrying, so it's a free to Gary Kirby. $15 points to 13, or 1 goal and 12 to 13 points. Can Gary make this the 14th point for Patrickswell? He has scored 4 already. Can this be Gary's 5th? He sends it in, and he has sent it out over the end line and wide, and that's the 3rd wide for Patrickswell in the second half. Remember, they had 4 in the first, 7 in total. stretches all over the place. Philly Bennis, Padjo Whelan, they're both managers, they're both on the sidelines. The ball out towards the centre of the field, won by Kieran Carey. He's fouled in possession by Eddie Tucker, so it's a free to Gary Kirby. A substitution on the Patrickswell team. I'll tell you about that in a moment. He's about to come on. That's Pa Earls as Gary Kirby lines up the free in the centre of the field. Gary sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar, I think, on this occasion. No, it's to the left and wide, and certainly Gary's accuracy letting him down at the crucial stage from a Patrickswell point of view. Sean McMahon checks the watch. 20 minutes gone in the second half, 10 to go in this Munster Club hurling semi-final. A winner's spot, or a spot in the final, awaits the winners. The ball in the hands of Kieran Carey, across to this side of the field to Declan O'Grady. High fielding by Anthony Carmody. He has woken up at last. Carmody coming up the field with it. Tries to work his way in. He wins the free. Is fouled by John Kennedy, and it's a free in to Gary Kirby. The Patrickswell man limping at the moment, and certainly that man is Declan O'Grady, but trying to run off his injury. The free is to Gary Kirby as Gary sends this one in, and he has sent it over the bar. Yes, he has found the target. Gary Kirby, the scorer, the 4th to 5th point for Gary Kirby. 4 from frees and 1 from play. 14 points on the board for Patrickswell. 112, that's 15 for Nenagh Eire Og. August and Plug. We had Don with number Shin. 22 minutes gone in the second half. The ball pulled in the air by Ronan Burns. Back to this side of the field to David Punch. Shot blocked down by Eddie Tucker on this side of the field, very close to the sideline. Still in possession is Eddie. Tries to keep the ball in play. Succeeds. Tries to get inside the defence. Shot blocked down. Falls inside for Joe O'Donoghue, a scorer of the goal in the county final. The ball out to the side of the field to Eddie Tucker. Flicks it backfield to Ronan Burns. Nice sidestep by Ronan. A shot. Tries to turn that one inside the post, but it's gone to the left and wide. That's the second wide for Nenagh Eire Og. 5 in the first half, 2 in the second. 7 wides in all for Nenagh. As Joe Murphy, Joseph O'Maraco, Colboira, Tubra Padraig, and Puckabakarish, Tustin the Park on the far side of the field. One over there by Nigel Carey, up towards the corner, towards the Edward Geary, I think, on the far corner of the field. Tries to turn inside the defence, sends it in, deflects off the goalkeeper, off the defender, but back there picking it up is Conor O'Donovan, the team captain for Nenagh Eire Og. As I said, born in County Limerick. The ball out on the far side of the field, very close to the far sideline. Linesman on the far side of the field, Tony O'Sullivan, watching the play. A man who refereed the Clare County final. That's the linesman. The ball on the far side of the field. A ruck of players on the far side of the field, and the ball goes to Nenagh Eire Og. Lee Mann, a selector on the Patrickswell side, jogging up along the sideline as the Limerick selectors in a hurdle. The Eire Og selectors keeping things calm. Jimmy Morris calming things down a little bit there on the sideline. And Puck Tavelina on the far side of the field, sent right in towards the centre. Gary Kirby back there picking up the pieces, tries to get away from Con Howard. Gary walks into one challenge and sends it right across the centre. Picking it up is Kieran Carey. Sends it high in towards the forward division. Batted out by Noel Coffey. Out towards the centre. And away with the ball comes Michael Cleary. Up towards this side of the field. Towards the direction of Joe O'Donoghue. Joe being there with the full back. Pa Carey. O'Donoghue being hoosed off the ball. Pa Foley in there for Patrickswell, the old reliable warrior. Ball back there to David Punch, another senior experienced player. Gets it up towards the centre. Frank Moran bats it down. The ball falls for Alan Purcell. Alan Purcell has the shot, half hits it. Out comes Conor O'Donovan and Seamus Kirby. The ball breaks inside for the cornerback, Paul Kennedy, on this side of the field, going very close to the end line, gone now at the expense of a 65. That's Padjo Whelan, and he's certainly issuing instructions. Are we about to see a Nenagh substitution? I think we are, as Gary Kirby takes the Jimmy Morris, brings out the book to record the substitution. Gary Kirby, 14 points for his side on the board, sends it high, and he has sent it over the bar. The sides are level. Gary Kirby the scorer. 6 points for Gary Kirby. A substitution on the Nenagh team. Number 18 is Robbie Foley. Robbie Foley coming in to replace Con Howard on the Nenagh side. Yes, Robbie Foley in and Con Howard coming towards the exits. Can the youthful player, Robbie Foley, take the game to Patrickswell? Remember, the sides are level as Christy McLaughlin's puck out towards this side of the field. Vital possession at this stage. Our possession should be vital. The ball will fall for Eddie Tucker, coming very close to this sideline, sends it in low towards the corner. Joe O'Donoghue trying to get a stick to it. Pat Foley there. Shot blocked down by Joe O'Donoghue. That falls back towards the goals. Out comes the cornerback, Paul Foley, has difficulty. John Heffernan in there. Outside him is a loose man, that's Joe O'Donoghue. Outside him is Kevin Tucker. His shot is blocked down. Will it ricochet back to Kevin? Back it comes to Eddie Tucker. His shot is blocked down by Kieran Carey. Ronan Burns in there as well. Certainly a tight situation, and the referee penalises the Eire Og men, so it's a free out to Patrickswell. And Philly Bennis is on the field as well, not as a player, but just instructing his players. Remember, if this game is a draw, the teams meet again next Saturday in a Limerick venue. That free is taken by Patrickswell out deep into the heart of the Eire Og defence. Half cleared out on the far side of the field. Comes out to this side of the field to Barry Foley. Barry tried to make an angle for himself, cuts inside the defence, sends it in, but that one, I'm afraid, is to the right and wide, and a missed opportunity by the youngster Barry Foley. That's the 5th wide for Patrickswell in the second half. 9 wides in all. Joe Whelan cooling things down for Patrickswell, the season campaigner. Likewise, his opposite number, Phil Bennis. Christy McLaughlin's puck out on the far side of the field. It's end-to-end action, and the referee has penalised the Nenagh men for, I think, touching the hurley before the ball came down. And there's a Nenagh man about to receive attention. That's John Heffernan. Gary Kirby between his own 50 and 70 metre line. A vital free for Gary Kirby. He sends it in, and he has sent it over the bar. Gary Kirby, the scorer. Certainly a vital free from the man wearing number 11, Gary Kirby. The lead for his side, 14 points. 16 points for Patrickswell, 15 points for Nenagh Eire Og. Out comes Pa Foley. Pa Foley trying to come out the field with it. John Kennedy. In there is John Heffernan. Michael Cleary sends it in. Joe O'Donoghue tried to keep the ball in play, brings it down inside, still battling for it inside. Out it comes to this side of the field. Will to come to get it will be corner forward, John Heffernan. John Heffernan going in, sending it in, and the sides are level. John Heffernan the scorer, and that's the point by John Heffernan, his first score of the game from a left corner forward position. That man played for Tipperary in a left cornerback or right cornerback position, but playing for his club in a left corner forward. 28 minutes gone, 2 minutes to go here in Semple Stadium. 16 points apiece, 113 to 16 points. I wonder who's going to spoil the party as Gary Kirby sends that one in, and he has sent it out over the end line and wide. The spectators, they came for a game and they have got one. The sides are level with the 28 minutes of the second half as Christy McLaughlin's puck out comes out towards the far side of the field. Possession 100% vital at this stage. Carey in possession for Patrickswell, loses out. In possession is Michael Cleary, a loose man outside him, not where he intended. Back battling for it is Michael Cleary, and the referee penalises the Eire Og men for fouling, so it's a free. A free given away there by the substitution, Robbie Foley. 29 minutes gone, and in the second half, Gary Kirby with the resultant free. Remember, it's almost the middle of November. The shadows around Semple Stadium, they're from the stands as Gary sends it high, and he has sent it all the way, I think. Yes, it's gone over the bar. Gary Kirby, the scorer. The lead again for Patrickswell. It has ebbed and flowed all day, and that man Gary Kirby has shown leadership for Patrickswell. The ball out to this side of the field. The ball on this side of the field with Robbie Foley. Flicks it outside him to John Kennedy. Racing across to the far side of the field. Nenagh get their signal slightly mixed up. Chris Boner coming for it. In possession on the far side of the field. Tries to work inside Nigel Carey. Shot half blocked down. Robbie Foley takes his eye off the ball. Flicks it in a little bit. Still Foley backing it up there. That's another Foley as Carey for Patrickswell. The shot is half blocked down on the far side of the field. The referee penalises David Punch, and we have a free to Nenagh Eire Og and Michael Cleary. And David Punch there, I think he was asking the referee for what? Michael Cleary, the most pressured free he has ever taken as we approach the 30th minute. Yes, we're in injury time as Michael Cleary sends it high, and he has sent it over the bar. Michael Cleary, the scorer. There's nobody going to the exits. Maybe there is now. The gates are being opened here in Semple Stadium. That's for the two teams. Referee Sean McMahon has been given the signal. We're in the 31 minutes and 44 seconds of the second half as Joe Murphy's puck out towards the centre of the field. All eyes on the referee, and there goes the full-time whistle. So they must meet again. It looks like next Saturday at a Limerick venue. The final score, Patrickswell 17 points. Nenagh Eire Og 1 goal and 14. That's 17 points. A thrilling Munster semi-final. With me now, I have two men whom